Hey, welcome back. In the last video, we wrote tests for Karan's endpoints using PyTest and test client. But there's a problem with those tests. Every time they run, they hit the real database, the real vector store, and potentially the real OpenAI API. That's slow, expensive, and unpredictable. If the database is down, every test fails. If OpenAI is slow, your test suite takes minutes. In this video, we fix that with dependency overrides, FastAPI's built-in way to swap real dependencies with lightweight test versions. Let's get into it. The red panel on the left shows what happens with real dependencies and tests. Slow, expensive, fragile, and they pollute your test data. The flow below it shows why. Your test hits the database, then the LLM API, then an external service. Any one of those failing breaks every test. The green panel on the right shows what overrides give you instead. Fast, isolated, repeatable, reliable. The flow simplifies to test hits a mock, gets a stable result. That's it. Good tests should give you the same result whether you run them on your laptop in CI or at 3 a.m. when every external service is down. Dependency underscore overrides is a dictionary that lives on your FastAPI app object. Look at the code on the right. The key is the original dependency function. The value is your test replacement. Get underscore DB normally opens a real PostgreSQL session via session local. Get underscore test underscore DB opens a test session local instead. One line at the bottom, app.dependency underscore overrides open bracket get underscore DB close bracket equals get underscore test underscore DB. From that point on, every endpoint that declared depends open parenthesis get underscore DB close parenthesis now gets get underscore test underscore DB automatically. No changes to your endpoint code, no conditional logic. FastAPI handles the swap completely. The override stays active for the entire test session until you clear it. Or dependencies block every test that hits a protected endpoint. Without overriding, every test that needs a real JWT either depends on your auth provider being up or requires you to generate valid tokens in your test setup. Neither is clean. Look at the code on the right. Get underscore test underscore user returns a fixed dictionary with a known user. ID, email, and role. No JWT parsing, no network call. The authenticated underscore client fixture sets app.dependency underscore overrides open bracket get underscore current underscore user close bracket equals get underscore test underscore user before yielding the client. Then calls app.dependency underscore overrides dot clear parents afterward. Now look at unauthenticated underscore client at the bottom. No override is set. It uses a plain test client. Keep this fixture too because you still need to verify that auth actually rejects unauthenticated requests. Two fixtures, two separate concerns. Look at the code panels on screen. It has three things. First, get underscore test underscore DB, which creates a test session local bound to a SQLite in-memory engine using SQLite : //:memory : fast, disposable, no external connection. Second, get underscore mock underscore LLM, which creates a magic mock and sets a fixed return value on mock.chat.completions.create. The mock returns the string, this is a test answer, instantly with no OpenAI call and no cost. Third, get underscore mock underscore vector underscore store in the right panel, which returns a magic mock with search.return underscore value equals an empty list. The test underscore client fixture at the bottom of the right panel wires all three overrides together. Get underscore DB, get underscore LLM underscore client, and get underscore vector underscore store are all swapped. It yields the client and then calls app.dependency underscore overrides dot clear parents. Any test using this fixture runs completely isolated from external infrastructure. Test client from the previous video is synchronous. It blocks until the response comes back. That works for most tests, but if you're testing async streaming endpoints or async background tasks, you need an async test client. Look at the two blocks on the right. First, the pytest.iniconfig. Set asyncio underscore mode equals auto. This tells pytest-asyncio to automatically handle async test functions. Then look at the Python test. It imports async client from HTTPX instead of test client. The test function is async def and decorated with @pytest.mark.asyncio. Async client is used as an async with context manager with base underscore URL equals quote http : / test quote. Everything else, sending the request and asserting the response, works exactly the same as the synchronous version. Use async test specifically when you need to test async behavior. For regular endpoint tests, test client is simpler and sufficient. Quick recap. Dependency underscore overrides lets you swap real dependencies with lightweight test versions. No changes to your endpoint code. Override auth to inject a fixed test user. Override your DB with SQLite in memory and mock your LLM and vector store clients. Always clear overrides after each fixture. Use async client and pytest-asyncio only when testing async specific behavior. For everything else, test client is simpler. Next up, Postman for manual verification. See you there.